Legalized marijuana is a multi-billion-dollar industry, but not everyone is benefiting from it. In fact, it's putting a strain on Nebraska law enforcement.
NBC Nebraska's Kelly Baumgarten traveled to the Panhandle of Nebraska to check on how Nebraska towns and counties are doing months after Colorado legalized pot. She joins us now live in studio. Kelly, what kind of an impact is this having on our state?
Katie and Jeff, it's having a huge effect. Law enforcement in small towns on the Colorado border say they are struggling to keep up with the amount of marijuana flowing into their communities. Drug arrests are rising, it's straining county budgets and putting pressure on Nebraska law enforcement. Deule County stopped housing prisoners in their jail cells years ago. Now it houses evidence.
We're just getting so much marijuana from Colorado coming over here.
Even finding enough room to store the pot is becoming an issue.
Just the 75 pounds we got out of one traffic stop.
And it's not just the increased volume of marijuana that's causing a problem. With the creation of dispensaries has come the rise of edible marijuana products.
The THC content and the potency of those edibles, where they're concentrated, it poses a lot bigger risk. We get so many of these felony drug cases that stemming from Colorado marijuana, and then the county's responsible to house these people in jail. They're responsible to pay for their defense attorneys.
And in nearby Sidney, Nebraska, a small town with a population of less than 7,000 and just a quick 10-mile trip to the Colorado border.
In the first 5 months of 2014, we made the same number of marijuana-related arrests as we did in all of 2013.
Sidney Police Chief B.J. Wilkinson says 5 out of every 10 traffic stops yields a marijuana arrest.
You can walk by people in Walmart or the grocery store and smell it on their person.
And it's not just affecting Sidney, but the entire county. In 2009, Cheyenne County made 15 marijuana drug arrests. In 2010, that number climbed to 45. And last year, they made 60 arrests.
It has affected the budget just because it's on the jail side, just because we're going to increase.
The Sidney Police Department ran through their overtime budget within 6 months.
And most of that overtime is being eaten up in court.
Before, if Nebraskans wanted to get their hands on some legal marijuana, they would have to drive more than 1,400 miles to California. But now all they have to do is take a quick trip to the Colorado border, and their next-door neighbors are open for business and in full supply.
My goal with this store really is to be an ambassador, if you will, for marijuana.
Mike Koleritz is the owner of Sedgwick Alternative Relief, a marijuana dispensary located in the small town of Sedgwick, less than an hour's drive from both Cheyenne and Deule County.
It smells really good, actually. I would say that once a day, somebody's like, so, what do you think about me traveling with this? And our point is, hey, if you're going to Denver, do whatever you want. But if you're leaving the state, throw it away. Don't leave with it.
But that doesn't stop everyone.
I know we're getting some of that marijuana over here just from some containers and packaging on some product that we've seized. And then they say medical marijuana grown in Colorado.
Authorities are asking for state lawmakers to enforce stricter penalties.
You know, if you can smoke marijuana and walk out of court with a $120 fine and nothing else, that may not be as much of an impact as if you walked out of court with a $1,200 fine.
But until then, the workload weighs heavy on bordering towns.
You may not feel it in some of the places in Nebraska where the populations are greater, but I can tell you that in the small cities and towns in the Panhandle, it has a huge impact on us. And we are deteriorating a quality of life here if we don't do something.
But not everyone in Nebraska feels the same way about Colorado's marijuana industry. For some Nebraskans, having access to marijuana could mean the end of an uphill battle with a devastating illness. Coming up tonight at 10, we'll meet one family who's doing everything they can to move to Colorado. Katie and Jeff.
Kelly Baumgarten live in studio for us tonight and traveling across the state to cover that story.
A lot of miles she put on the car there.
It is a lot, and she was telling me about the family she talks to at 10. You'll want to tune in for that story. It's a good one.